Hey there, folks. Getting set up. This will be a little different. I've been slammed harder today than I can remember. Just more coming out. Saturday, June 18th, 8:50 p.m. The things I talk about are pretty varied. Everything from where you came from, the original first being, how where spirit came from, how it gets put in a body. I've explained that over and over again. Thank you. It's important to me that you know where you come from. To a lot of you, it's important too. Cheers. There's a lot going on with our friends in space. I'm concerned in telling you everything I know. That's why I wrote those books, just to give you a basic idea of the generic outlook of things, how everything started. It's more than just generic and it's more than basic, but it's not as entailed as it could be. That would take too much time and too many pages. Then it'd be too hard to read. It's hard enough as it is. I talk about some of the stuff going on in space. I don't spend a lot of time listening to other people talk. There's not often much reason for me to do it. You've heard me talk about Corey Goode. He's a good guy with a good heart. Love the guy. David Wilcock too, but boy, David's really just gone off the edge. Corey is as honest as he can be. He does talk about a lot about stuff he's gotten that he read on his, what do they call it, the whatever, magic glass, super glass, whatever, I don't know. I have no memory retention. I just continually see stuff. I said last year that some of the stuff that Corey gets is misdirected information. That to him is as truthful as it can be, and he's pretty careful about what he says to make sure that he's not misleading. Okay? Alex Collier, I just listened to him for a minute. The guy's got a lot of heart. He really cares. There's so much stuff going out there, though, that's like these beings are reincarnating on this planet and everything. Folks, when you get... That's insinuating when you're getting ready to go out of a body, you're in control of where you go back, go back in a body. No. There's a lot of power hitters in creation that are here on this planet right now. Okay? They wanted to, but it wasn't their choice whether or not they're put here. That was done. And not by them. Okay? Alex talks about the Andromedians and the love and the light and the great creator and He said that the creator can do anything, and we're creators that can do anything. I'm like, really? I said, why don't you create and collapse a universe in 5 seconds, or maybe at all? He speaks of the Andromedians, but it sounds like I'm picking on him, folks. I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to talk about information being expelled on the internet. He talks about these Andromedians that saw in a long distance future that there was a problem coming, and it was coming from the Earth. Folks, our friends, they actually our family members and those bodies from other planets that we've had lives into. They know darn well, just like the Anunnaki here on this planet, that you can only trust those things a couple of weeks. Going 2 years into the future, good luck. Okay, because the future changes that much. And the Andromedians, that means they're from the galaxy. We could be called the Milky Way-ians. Okay, whole lot of planets here. Whole lot of planets in the Andromedian galaxy. A lot of stuff that people are being told is bogus. It doesn't fit, doesn't make sense. That's why I've warned people not to get too lost in it. When you take gibberish and try and put it together, you're going to wind up confused. Even more so than before, because you're starting to believe some stuff that you think actually fits and it doesn't. Talk about the Pladians. I talk about the Pladians. There's a lot of nice different groups that have come out of the Pleiades galaxy that live there. You've heard me say it before. The Anunnaki came from there. They're Pladians. There's all different kinds of life everywhere. A lot of these folks talk about these sentient beings that were the guardians. It was Corey Goode and David Wilcock talking about the ancient guardians that were here, and they evolve, and they're all this other stuff, and I'm like, wow. Okay. The old races have evolved a lot, but when they evolve in a spirit and they're still hanging around, the Fae can go in and out of bodies because of the way they are. They also have lives in solid bodies, and we have lives in Fae bodies. But folks, they don't fly around in ships. When you're spirit, you don't need a ship. You just go. There can be things holding you to a planet, I guess, a little bit, but it all depends on the situation. The Fae can literally go to other places, as long as they can get through a portal where they leave don't have to deal with the barriers. But they're still Fae bodies. They're not actually corporeal. Corey was talking about. He was talking with. He says Ra. Tier or something, whatever. It's Tier. And somebody was asking. Somebody was asking Tier is everyone called? What was the question? Is Ra the great sun god? Are we all related to him or something? It is, is everyone this god and everything? And Tier just said, my name is Ra Tier. I just call him Tier, and we talk all the time. What the person was asking him, though, is when you're not in a body like this blue avian body, that he wasn't really in anyway, when you're not in there and you're out, doing something else, some kind of corporeal being, where do you go? I mean, some type of a spirit being. Where do you go? Where do you live? And then he just, he gave a basic answer that just, went around it. Just, you know, um, when we're not in when we're not in this form, we're in a normal form. And so he was totally honorable, honest. Hello. I was in New Zealand a little while ago and with some wonderful, wonderful people, husband, wife, and daughter. Leave their names out of it. They're really so cool. Um, and my head was hurting so much, and I started really having, given the internet issues, what I'm going through right now is really, it's crazy, my energy. Anyway, uh, when Ta'ir said that, when he was actually there, he was putting out his energy. He was giving that image. He can make you think you're shaking his hand. Ta'ir is incredibly powerful. The Antids, the only thing more ancient than the Antids are the Drachk. Okay? Um, so they're in their normal body when they're not there. But when they're there, they're projected in everyone's head. Where are they really? Far away. And what kind of body are they in? They're the Antids. I was talking about the misinformation on the internet. That's a big part of it. Having said that, let's never think anything nasty about Ta'ir for doing what he's doing. It's not just him, it's the Antids. They made a group decision. They're trying to find a way to start communicating with people and not have people freak out because what they really look like. There are so many prejudices on this planet. David Wilcock, he keeps making these assumptions out of nothing. David, I love you, man. I don't know. How do you do that? Is the limelight holding the limelight? No, that's important to you. You like the attention, but you really just want to go everywhere. Whatever. I heard so much stuff, spending about 25 minutes listening to these folks tonight. I was just like, man, no wonder things are so screwed up. Some people have spirit guides talking to them. Sometimes people have people talking to them in a trip chair, like Anunnaki, the problematic ones here on the planet, causing hell. Dates for doing what on the moon, what happened when. These galactic guardians, it was the Drachk that were here first and the Antids shortly after. They're the only two guardians of the universe. The other races, well, they do stuff too, but if you want to go back to the original ones, they're the two that are listened to. And Corey calls this group the Super Federation or something like that, the super one, the great big one. There's so much overemphasis on everything. I just it's just a bunch of fake hype. I'm not saying Corey's repeating what he knows. He's not going out of it. He does not do very much conjecturing. That's David Wilcock. He can actually take a banana and an apple and make a banapple. I'm sorry to say that, but it needs to be said. everywhere he leads, when he's talking, he just goes leading in all kinds of crazy places. The Anunnaki, there's all different kinds of Anunnaki, you know. There's Anunnaki just means space travel. The Anunnaki are reptilians. No, the home planet ambassador. Hello, you know. I talked to them. What everyone needs is full disclosure, but it needs to happen directly to the point with no crap involved. Creation's changing. The truth is going to come out. Listen to me. Um, it's only half a glass. Maybe another half a glass will start straightening out. I couldn't hardly even walk. And Herky got hit too. Last night, Herky and I took a little trip. We weren't awake though. It got there was a ship over the house, not too far. Something needed to happen, and it did. No problems. We were knocked out though. I knew it was going to happen a long time ago. Ann and I both knew. I mentioned a certain date, and I knew what was going to happen. And the second I did, she said exactly what was going to happen. I'm like, awesome, you rock. And it's very strong. But then I was talking with Braju last night before it happened, between a little before 12 and about 1:18, 1:17, 1:18 is when I got put back in the bed. Herky got there with me. It was about 1:22. I actually woke up. I had to go back and look at it to see when I got put back in the bed. I was laughing with Paul about it a little while ago. He's, said, "Damn, they have you there just on this table, whatever." I won't say the rest of it, but it's pretty funny. But when I was talking with Braju about it last night, and I said, "There's something going on." I said, I told him I want to literally be awake and everything. He said, "No, your energy output messes stuff up." So, as a matter of fact, the gentleman that was over here, and this is Deanna that saw this too. Deanna's really getting strong. Deanna Anaya, thespiritualfoundation.com. She could see that it was humanoid and everything, and I said that last event I had, September 26th, 27th, and 28th, Blair and Luke used their camera, the camera on the phone, to take a video of this guy, because they're really strong. Their store's very strong, really cool, awesome people. And they were taking a picture of it, and then of him, a small video, and then he tried to send it to me. It wouldn't go through the first time. The second time they went to send it, all of a sudden something hit the phone and took out all their images, just burned them up. I mean, I'm not laughing at them going through trouble, but I mean, I'm just laughing at the fact that it happened. He was the one in my room. Before that happened, when I was talking with Ann on the phone, we knew what was about to happen. We were kind of laughing about it, and Herc was getting all excited. And Herc went to the top of the stairs here. He was looking down there, because there were other people here in energy. There's like 3-4 Sapoians that actually projected, and Herc was at the top of the stairs just looking at him, looking down. And then he was really happy, really excited, having a blast. And then he was getting so excited. Remember, Herc's heart is in bad shape, okay? He and I, we're about done. So then I saw Lily really scared, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm already being put down. They have these frequencies they put on you, and it just starts putting you down. And it was getting close to 12. So Herky was getting all excited and everything in his heart, and so Lily was getting all upset, and as energy, she's not in the body, and she started worrying about Herc, because Herc was getting excited, and I was getting that she was worried he might have a heart attack, and it's not time for him to go yet. But Herky was so happy and so excited, about everybody being there. He's standing at the top of the stairs just going to town. And people wonder why I love animals, you know. It's not just because my spirit is part animal. It's, you know, they're awesome. And Herky's incredible. So anyway, then I was talking with Berjou that I saw this. I said, Berjou, they got something on my feet, but it goes over the lower part of my legs, and it goes. I'm on a table, like an aluminum stainless steel table or something, weird looking thing, and then there's something over my feet. Over my legs. It goes right below the knees, and then there's something on my hands, and there's something on the shoulders, and something on my head, and then it's energy output. But it also has to do with restraints to keep me on the table if I were to get up. So this morning when I did wake up, I went to just lift my left leg to get out of bed. Man, pain. The upper part of my shin, real, you know, wherever that device was on my knee. That hit it pretty hard. I got up and I started to take just a couple steps, and all of a sudden it was smooth, and I could walk right. I mean, better than I should be able to. A lot of the folks, they talk about our friends in space. It's like Alex, he's so cool. Alex Collier, and you know, his heart is so beautiful. It's definitely in the right place. And he says, you know, you don't want to treat these people like gods, or you know, whatever. You know, then you find out that then you don't see that they have faults. That's true, but this creator thing is just kind of whacked out. And this our creator that can do anything. Well, if it could do anything, we wouldn't be like this, you know. And that original first being's dead anyway. I'm not here to talk about talking to one race or something else. The most important thing was for me to tell you who you are, how creation started, what's going on, and basically what's out there as far as spirit. Not about different beings on different planets. But I do it anyway. I talk with them. You know, we're all family. Most of us have had lives and on most of these different bodies anyway. It's remarkable. And it's that they, you know, they think that they're like 20,000 years advanced over us. Okay, let's try about. Well, if we hadn't been given the technology that we have been given, then, well, the Andromedan came down. People, different races from the Andromedan galaxy came down here over 12 million years ago. I think that beats the heck out of what, 20,000 or something like that. You know, all this information people are being fed is wrong. And a lot of the stuff I know off my head. But when I wrote this book, okay, the second book, Creation, Its Journey Evolving into Paradise, I had to take the time to think about the different timelines on the planet. I already knew 10.572 million years ago is when I made the red atom body. Right in the back, I put some charts together to help you out. It's like, here's some additional information. Earth and Ages timeline, approximate dates. Initial life and colonization here started well over 11 million years ago. First age was about 10.572 to 8.3 million years ago. Second age, 5.2 to 4.3 million years ago. Third age, 3.8 to 2.5 million years ago. Fourth age, 1.1 to about 800,000 years ago. Fifth age, that we just changed from the fifth age to the sixth age, December 21st, 2012. And fifth age was about 750,000 years ago to 12/21/2012, and the sixth age is 12/21/2012 and on. That's what we're in right now. That's at different ages. When I forget who it was just talking about where I think it was Alex was talking about, and folks, I'm not beating on people. I'm just, he's doing the best he can for what he's doing and what he knows. But my job is to tell you what's going on. Lemuria, and he was talking about Lemuria, and he's talking about the colonization of this planet, and how all of us had DNA in us from the great kings and rulers of creation. Whoa. We were not outcasts, but survivors or something, and brought here. This planet was mined a long time ago. People have been coming here for over 1 billion years, getting plant samples and stuff. Okay. Gaia, the Earth, has been around here a long time. So anyway, they found some minerals and stuff, and then they got interested, and then they started colonizing Lemuria. Lemuria was a few big islands, and there's a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of different planets that just come to a big island and just start setting up, not setting up shop, but, start making a little colony. And a lot of those people would, they try to live in this environment and adapt the way they best they could. A lot of them didn't make it. It wasn't easy. Andromedians had a lot of problem breathing. The folks from the Andromedan galaxy, for the most part. Again, there's so many different races. It's hard to to say one thing, or the philosophy from here or there is basically true. Most of the Andromedians, they do believe in using heart energy and trying to do something, and most of the different races from the Pleiades galaxy, they believe in action, which the Anunnaki do too, and they're Pladians. Very strong, compassionate beings. So there's a lot going on out there, but if you know that there's a lot of beings from a lot of different planets, excuse me, it's dry, and the basic understanding of some of the stuff that's happening, you'll get a truthful, basic idea of what's happening here. This guy Cobra likes to hide his voice, sound mystique. Wow, he said so much stuff today. I was like, where did he get it? And I went in his head and looked. And it was amazing. Fabricating, this ought to be this, that should be that, and that's what I'm going to say. Okay. Being aware of a few things here and there going on. It's like Corey even said that in a lot of different places, each level of echelon of a it's almost like a corporation, but it's a military outpost, like in the moon. What does it call it? The lunar operation control or something. Well, that's not what he calls it. That's what I'm sure what the folks there call it. The first moon flyby that I can see is 1932, early. The Germans were being taken out there by the Serpolians. 26 is when we first started having a serious connection with the Serpolians here. 1926. So anyway, this is done to keep you away from doing what you need to do to best enhance yourself, and that's to find yourself. If you're busy looking around the corners and everywhere else, well, you're not going to take the time to meditate. You're going to run around, get all excited about, oh, this guy said that guy said that, and if you take what this guy said, that guy said, that guy said, this guy said, that guy said, and I feel this is kind of right somewhere, then you get this. Look at that. What is it? I don't know. What do you think? Corey Goode talked about that space station that's between Saturn and Jupiter. I heard that tonight and I said, how about that? It was sometime in 2015. It's not that Corey doesn't know anything. He does. He's been out there doing it physically. I haven't. Well, not conscious. I don't get to do that. But besides, I have a bigger job than that. Okay? My job is talking about spirit, who you are inside, and how you can awaken your abilities. So someone could say, well, what do I know? I'm proving I can go in your head anywhere, on any planet, if I wanted to. And I have done that. And actually crank up your brain. I'm proving this to be a fact. It scares the hell out of a lot of people. A lot of scientists and doctors, man, they take a look at that QEEG and they run. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I can't do that. It's okay, whatever. It's all good. But there are some that do. I'll be talking with one this week coming up. There's a lot going on, folks, but you need the basics to understand what's really going on. You need the basics so you can see what's happening. But you need to see it with a little bit with your eyes, but you have to use the pineal for multidimensional, the scanner for remote viewing, direct information coming in and out of your crown, trusting your heart, and your gut feeling. You try to keep your base chakra out of it, the emotions. That won't do anything good for you. I'm tired now. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut anyone down, but I've got to tell you what's going on. A few more months. It's not like you see like you see on the internet. Sorry, it's just not. I found more good stuff with Corey Goode than anyone else. But he does have misinformation going on. He repeats what he's been told by some other folks, but in doing so, he lends the idea that this is all true. He doesn't say that. He just tells you what he's told. That builds a little bit of facade. David Wilcock loves that. He takes that and goes all over the place with it. And the Arcturians were the first ones to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Did he really say that? No. He was talking about Greek mythology, and that they were really the Anunnaki that are not reptilian. And I'm like, and he's just, so this, and a couple times Corey just kind of like goes right over it. Just like, let's not go there, because he's being polite. So everyone gets all hyped up, trying to figure out the truth of what's really going on, when it's not really too much there to be had. And don't you really have to become yourself first? My buddy Steve Lewandowski, incredibly powerful telepath. He thought he was locked here in his neighborhood, not just on his planet, but in the neighborhood. Next thing you know, he and I were on that space station in Saturn. Well, it was closer to Jupiter back then. It's been moved away because of what just happened. That force field got kicked in hard tonight, about 2:30 Eastern, just after 2:30 Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. So, and Corey, as a matter of fact, he had said that Tier was somebody was asking Tier about letting somebody come through the blockade or whatever. There's been restrictions that have put down, but what just happened this Saturday, today, a few hours ago, that's a destructive field. There's no on or off. You can go through it if you have one of the Anunnaki or the Antids. I'm sorry, one of the Drachk or the Antids on the ship with you, because they're going to be wearing what's necessary to get through. They will bring what they need to get the ship through. So you want to find some guardians? Look at a Drachk and the Antids. It's not it's not the biggest thing there is for people to deal with. You know, there's stuff on the internet, but you know what? It does keep you from becoming yourself. So that's, I just want to talk about it, bring that up. When you relax and learn how to use your abilities, you can go to the moon and see something for yourself. You can go in the past life. You can listen to someone talk and get a pretty good idea when they're telling you a bunch of bunk. So I guess my question is, do you want to do that, or do you want to keep chasing everyone's tail, trying to figure out, is there a dog attached to one of these things? It's easy to get lost in that stuff. The thought of them being here and everything else and what's going on in space, the secret programs, is kind of exciting, you know? I mean, for most people. Folks, you don't have that much longer to wait before they're here walking around. You can ask them then. And if you ask them if you had the chance to talk to one, and you brought up some of the stuff you're looking on the internet, they'd look at you and laugh and then just walk away. Oh well. I want what's best for all of you. So do what you want, but I'm telling you, you need to go inside yourself. Find yourself, let yourself out. It's like the name of these new spheres, emanation spheres. And this new thing about holograms. Oh, this design I have, it makes a hologram, and it's just, wow. Yeah, someone told me once he was going to make a hologram of the energy in Storesonite, and then he's going to make a hologram of me. And I'm like, wow, man, you're kidding me. Really? You're going to copy sentient energy with a little thingamajabadabber? No, you're not. It's impossible. It's sad to hear, but it was even sadder to see you had on the internet selling these little things like a pendant, $4,500. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, what do I know? I know that all of you need to be awake to get the most out of your life, to make the best decisions for yourself. Okay, it's too late to have much wine, but whatever. If I was you and you want to find out about that stuff, I'd try to spend some time with Corey and listen to him when he talks about what he's told, and then listen to what he tells you that he's actually seen for himself. And then what he's seen for himself, remember, there's some incredibly powerful telepaths there, and seeing something on a little screen is not true, because I've watched the screen and I've seen Superman fly. Okay? So, folks, love you, have fun, but try to feel into what you're hearing. Trust your gut. Okay? And remember, if you spend the same amount of time you do on the internet relaxing, flowing inside yourself, to release yourself so your energy can emanate out of your body, there you go. There's the real you. This is going on the backside of the moon. Take the time, learn how to relax, and go look. A lot of you are going floating around in starships. I look at it and I'll tell you, I said, man, you're flying around a starship going through the hole. He goes, yeah, there's a hole and people look at me funny. I said, yeah, because you're not in a body, but they can see you and feel you. They're awake. They're old races. They know how to use their abilities. And remember, folks, a lot of these people get lied to. Big thing. Okay? So, folks, love you, man. Have a good night.